My dear child, something is about to end in your life, and you will be surprised to know what it is. Child, every beginning has an end, and this applies to your life too. My child, nothing in this world is eternal except for me, your God. Seasons change, chapters close, people come and go, and what once seemed unshakable fades away. But do not be afraid, my beloved, for I am not a God of loss, but of transformation. What is ending is not a punishment, but a repositioning. What is fading is not a sign of failure, but of my divine intervention, releasing what no longer serves you. You have carried certain things for too long, things that no longer serve my purpose for you. You have walked in places that were only meant to be temporary, yet you made them your dwelling. You have held on to relationships, ideas, and expectations that were never meant to last forever. My child, I see your heart. I know how much you have fought to hold on, how much you have resisted change, how much you have feared the unknown. But now I'm stepping in. I'm closing doors that you have tried to keep open. I am removing what you thought you needed. You have questioned why certain prayers seemed unanswered, why certain relationships crumbled, why certain opportunities slipped through your hands. But my beloved, I have seen what you could not. I have seen the hidden motives, the unseen dangers, the future consequences. I have seen the places where your heart would have been broken beyond repair, the paths that would have led you astray, the connections that would have drained your spirit. Divine protection through removal. I'm not taking anything away to hurt you. I am removing what is not aligned with my perfect will for your life. You may not understand now, but one day you will look back and see my wisdom in every closed door, in every sudden ending, in every unexpected shift. There are some people who have walked with you for a season, but their part in your story is over. Do not weep for those who leave, for if they were meant to stay, they would. I have heard the whispers behind your back, the words spoken in secret, the silent betrayals that your heart was unaware of. I have seen the true intentions of those who pretended to love you, and I am removing them before they can do greater harm. You may feel loss, but I tell you this, my child. What I remove, I will replace with something far greater. What you let go of, I will replenish with abundance. What you surrender, I will bless beyond measure. But you must trust me. You must believe that I know what is best for you. Releasing burdens that were never yours. I have watched you carry burdens that were never yours to bear. I have seen you fight battles that were never yours to fight. You have tried to fix what was never meant to be fixed, to restore what was meant to be left behind. You have held on to pain, memories, and regrets that have only kept you bound. But now, my beloved, I say, release it. Let go. Leave it at my feet. The season of struggle is over. The time of wandering is coming to an end. You have cried long enough. You have questioned long enough. You have endured long enough. Now I am making a way where there was no way. I am bringing clarity where there was confusion. I am lighting up the path that was once hidden in darkness. Embracing the new season. Do not be afraid of the change that is coming. Do not resist the shift that I am bringing. When one door closes, another opens. When one chapter ends, a new one begins. And what I have prepared for you is beyond anything you have imagined. You have felt stuck, but no more. You have felt forgotten, but I have always been with you. You have felt weary, but I am your strength. You are stepping into a new season, a season where you will see my hand move like never before. Your past no longer defines you. The mistakes you have made do not determine your future. The chains that once bound you have been broken. You are stepping into freedom, into purpose, into my divine calling. The process of transformation. Some of you have been praying for breakthrough, yet you fear the process of transformation. You want my blessings, but resist my pruning. My child, you cannot carry the weight of the old into the new. You cannot step into your destiny while still clinging to what is behind you. The things I am removing are not meant to follow you into the next season. The relationships I am cutting off are not meant to be part of your future. The mindset you once had will not sustain you for where I am taking you. Do not fear the unknown, for I am already there. Do not mourn what is leaving, for I have something better ahead. Do not fight against my will, for my plans are perfect, honoring your faithfulness. My child, you have been faithful even when you did not understand. You have continued to trust even when the answers were unclear. You have stood firm even when the storms rage around you. And now I am honoring your faithfulness. I am opening the floodgates of heaven. I am pouring out blessings that you do not have room to contain. I am restoring everything that was lost. I am redeeming every tear you cried, every pain you endured, every silent battle you fought. This ending is not a defeat. It is a divine redirection. This closing door is not a rejection. It is my protection. What is leaving is not a loss. It is the making of something new. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. Trust that I am working in your life. Trust that I am in control. Trust that this transition, though painful, is leading to something greater. Lift your head, my child. Wipe your tears. Walk forward with confidence. I am with you. I go before you. I have already prepared the way. What is ending today will soon make sense in the light of what is coming. Lessons from those who came before. My dear child, as I speak to you today, I want you to reflect upon the lives of those I have chosen and how their journeys have unfolded. There have been moments in history, as recorded in my word, where things seem to end in sorrow, in disappointment, and in uncertainty, only to lead to something far greater. I am the same God who has worked in the past, and I am working in your life now. The story of Joseph. Consider the story of Joseph, my beloved. His life seemed to be one of continuous hardship, rejection, and betrayal. His brothers, filled with jealousy, sold him into slavery. Imagine the grief, the pain, and the confusion that filled his heart. Surely the end of his dreams seemed imminent as he found himself alone, forsaken, and far from the family he once knew. His future seemed bleak as he was cast into the pit of servitude, first in Potiphar's house and later in prison. Yet that apparent end was not the end of his story. What seemed like a crushing blow to his future became the foundation for a higher purpose. For I, the Lord, was with Joseph. I was using the very circumstances that seemed to break him to shape him into the man I needed him to be. In the pit, in the prison, I was preparing Joseph for the palace. His suffering was not in vain. Through the pain, I was building his character, strengthening his resolve, and positioning him for greatness. And when the appointed time came, I raised Joseph to a place of authority in Egypt. He became the second most powerful man in the land, and his ability to interpret dreams saved many from famine. But his brothers, the ones who betrayed him, came to him in their time of need, and he was able to forgive them. Joseph's story is a testimony of how what seemed to be a hopeless end was, in fact, the beginning of something magnificent. Joseph's path of suffering led to a greater purpose, one that would bring salvation not only to his family, but to an entire nation. And remember, my child, that I do not change. What I did for Joseph, I can and will do for you. When things end, it is not the end of your purpose. It is merely the closing of one chapter and the opening of another. Trust in my timing and my plan. The story of Moses. Another powerful story of an ending leading to a greater beginning is that of Moses. Moses was born into a time of great oppression, a time when my people, the Israelites, were slaves in Egypt. But from the moment of his birth, I had set him apart for a great purpose. Yet he was raised in Pharaoh's house, in a place that was not his true home. He had everything the world could offer, but it was not where I had called him to be. One day, Moses took matters into his own hands, and in an act of impulsive anger, he killed an Egyptian who was mistreating one of my people. Fearing the consequences, Moses fled Egypt and spent many years in exile in the wilderness, tending sheep. To the world, it looked like Moses' destiny had ended. His dreams of freeing my people, the dreams I placed in his heart, seemed impossible. His past mistakes, his exile, and his life in the wilderness seemed to mark the end of his calling. But I was not finished with Moses. In the quiet solitude of the desert, I prepared him. I shaped him. I taught him to trust me in ways that only the wilderness could. And when the time was right, I appeared to Moses in a burning bush, calling him to return to Egypt and deliver my people from slavery. What seemed like an end to Moses' life of purpose was merely the beginning of the most significant mission of his life. Through Moses, I brought my people out of Egypt with mighty signs and wonders. The Red Sea parted, and the Israelites walked through on dry land, escaping the army of Pharaoh. What looked like a dead end, the wilderness, became the place where I revealed my power and my glory. The ending of Moses' time in Egypt was the catalyst for a new beginning. Not just for him, but for an entire nation. I led the Israelites through the wilderness for 40 years, shaping them into a people who would enter the promised land. Moses' story reminds you, my child, that sometimes what feels like a detour, a dead end, or even a failure is actually part of my divine plan to prepare you for what lies ahead. Trust that every season has a purpose, even when you do not understand it. The Israelites' deliverance. Think also of the Israelites themselves. When they were held in captivity in Egypt, it seemed as though they would never be free. The Israelites were enslaved, beaten, and oppressed for hundreds of years. To their eyes, there seemed to be no hope, no way out. But I had not forgotten them. I raised up Moses as the deliverer, and I promised them freedom. When the Israelites were finally led out of Egypt, they found themselves trapped at the Red Sea with the Egyptian army closing in behind them. To the Israelites, this was the end. It appeared that they were about to be defeated and destroyed. But I, the Lord, opened the Red Sea, allowing my people to walk through on dry ground. The end of their captivity was the beginning of their journey to the Promised Land. That moment when the sea parted was a clear sign that I had not only ended their bondage, but was leading them into a new destiny. You, my child, may face moments when you feel trapped, when you feel as though there is no way out. But know this, I am the God who makes a way where there is no way. The end of your current struggle may be the beginning of a new chapter in your life. Do not let your circumstances dictate your faith. Look to me, and I will part the seas before you. The story of Ruth. Another instance I want to share with you is the story of Ruth. Ruth was a woman who experienced the loss of her husband and her livelihood. She found herself widowed and destitute, facing an uncertain future. The loss of her husband seemed like the end of her hope. In her grief and despair, she could have chosen to return to her family, but instead, she chose to stay with her mother-in-law, Naomi, and journey to Bethlehem. Ruth's story is one of faith and loyalty. She trusted in me and in my perfect timing. I brought her into a new season. Ruth the widow became the great-grandmother of King David, and through her line, the Messiah, JesusChrist, would eventually come. What seemed like the end of her life's purpose was actually the beginning of a beautiful story of redemption. Ruth's faithfulness in the face of loss led to the fulfillment of my divine plan for her life. The ultimate victory, Jesus Christ. And so, my child, do not be afraid of endings. Do not mourn the things that seem to be lost. I have a plan that is far greater than your understanding. When one door closes, it is because I'm opening a door to something greater. When one season ends, It is because I am preparing you for a new one. Every ending, every loss, every shift in your life is a part of the greater picture I am painting. I want you to reflect on the life of Jesus. His earthly ministry was one of miracles, healing, and teaching. But the greatest work he did was accomplished through what appeared to be the ultimate end, his death on the cross. To the disciples, to those who loved him, and to the world, it seemed as though everything had come to a tragic end. The Savior was dead, and all hope was lost. But I, the Father, knew that this apparent ending was the beginning of the greatest victory in history. Through Jesus' death, I made a way for all of humanity to be reconciled to me. His sacrifice was not the end. It was the beginning of a new covenant, a new relationship between humanity and God. 3 days after his death, I raised Jesus from the dead, victorious over sin and death. The resurrection of Jesus was the proof that death is never the end for those who trust in me. What I am replacing in your life. So, my beloved, as you face endings in your own life, know that these are often the very moments I use to create something new, something better. Do not fear the process of change, for I am with you. What seems like the end of one chapter is the beginning of another, and this new chapter will be greater than you can imagine. Trust me, my child. I am the God who makes all things new. Every ending is a stepping stone to a greater beginning. You may not understand the pain, the loss, or the confusion in the moment, but one day you will see that I was working behind the scenes, turning your mourning into dancing, your sorrow into joy, and your losses into blessings. My child, I have never forsaken you. I will never leave you. As you walk through your own journey of endings, remember that I am the beginning and the end. I will never fail you. Trust in my plans, they are good. And though the road may be difficult, the destination will be worth it. Replacing your relationships. My dear child, I am speaking to you now with love and power, for I see the struggles you are facing, and I know the weight of what you are carrying. I know that some things in your life have reached their end, and this may have caused you sorrow, confusion, or even fear. But hear my voice clearly. Do not mourn what is passing, for I am replacing it with something far greater, something more aligned with my divine purpose for you. I have seen your faithfulness, your perseverance, and your heart, and I am bringing you into a season of transformation. The things that are ending, whether it be relationships, careers, habits, or even chapters of your life, are making room for my blessings to manifest in ways you cannot yet comprehend. I'm not taking away to leave you empty. I am removing what no longer serves you and preparing you for a future filled with abundance, peace, and fulfillment in me. The struggles you have faced in your relationships, those who have caused you pain or disappointment, are coming to an end. I am replacing them with relationships built on trust, love, and mutual respect. People who will uplift you, walk beside you, and share in the joys and challenges of life, supporting you as you grow. I will bring people into your life who reflect my love, my strength, and my wisdom, and who will be a blessing to your soul. Replacing your financial struggles. The financial burdens, the lack, the uncertainty in your resources, these are coming to an end. Where you have felt scarcity, I am replacing it with provision. I will open new doors of opportunity, bringing you into a place of stability and abundance. Trust in my timing and my plans, for I am the God who provides, and I will ensure that all your needs are met. Do not worry about tomorrow, for I have already gone before you and prepared a way for your prosperity. Replacing your mental battles, the battles you have fought in your mind, the feelings of insecurity, fear, and doubt are also coming to an end. I am replacing them with peace that surpasses all understanding. I am filling your heart with my truth, my promises, and my presence. No longer will you be weighed down by the lies of the enemy, for you are secure in my love. Your identity is in me, and I will lead you to a place of confidence, strength, and unshakable faith. Replacing your sorrow with joy. The seasons of sorrow, loss, and heartache are coming to an end. I am replacing them with joy, with healing, and with restoration. Every tear you have shed has been counted, and I am now turning your mourning into dancing. What was once broken, I am making whole. What was once lost, I am bringing back. The pain of the past will no longer define you. You are stepping into a season of new beginnings, where the old has passed away and all things are becoming new. Trust in me, my beloved child. I am the God of restoration, the God of new beginnings. What you thought was the end is merely the beginning of something greater. I'm doing a new thing in your life, and it is good. Rejoice, for I am replacing your mourning with dancing, your sorrow with joy, and your losses with blessings. Know that I am with you in every step of this journey. You are not alone. I am holding you, guiding you, and leading you into the future I have prepared for you. And in the end, you will see that every ending was just a stepping stone to a better, brighter, and more glorious future in me. With love, your Heavenly Father.